Time with men, like with your male friends, is so vital, but it's actually one of the things that guys just sacrifice the most. Whether we don't hang out with our male friends because either one, maybe you don't have many male friends. Two, you might have some, but then eventually you kind of end up getting into like a relationship, so you just hang out with your girlfriend or your wife. Or three, you maybe have some male friends, but you don't hang out with them because you're in this thing of like, no, I'm just grinding right now. And for any of those reasons, having experienced everything myself, I'm telling you, it's just not good enough. A life where you're not hanging out with guys is a low ambitious life. Like, that's not success. Success is where you can have a full life where you're grinding, you're leveling up in, for example, business, fitness, relationships, with dating, but also with male friends through the entire journey. And I'm making this module right now, this entire course, but this specific module because I actually fall victim to this completely myself. I'll go weeks or even months without doing like something quite substantial with guy friends of mine. I'll be kind of like locked in alone and maybe I'll just make time to see girls, but I'll have quite like a busy schedule, so I'm basically just going to have sex in some of my sort of off time. And I'll just kind of like sacrifice the time with friends, with male friends, up until I plan something which is what we'll say is substantial, like more like, okay, a trip. And whenever I do that, I swear to God, like for the last few years, I always have the same thought, which I want to pass on to you. It's only when you like basically set out on like a trip with your male friends that then instantly you think to yourself like, wow, I've got to do this more often. I can't believe like I don't do this that often. It's just so enlivening. And you start to like me and my friend, we went on this road trip to the mountains. And as we were just setting off, in my mind, I was like, "Oh man, you've really got to like find time to do this, allocate it. Maybe do it once a week or every 2 weeks." And it was like the most fun thing where you're like, you're almost like boys who are just going adventuring in the woods. It's so enjoyable when you actually do it. The problem is we just don't really book it in enough, or we think about it, we kind of talk about spending more time with our friends, and then you just don't end up doing it, or maybe you don't meet anyone that you actually want to do this with. Me and my friend did this trip and it was so fun, and then it's been a couple of weeks and we haven't planned anything else. I need to improve on this the same way that many of us do. We just kind of place our male friendships at a bit of a low priority, but they might be some of the biggest like change, like the biggest sort of value adds of our life, because it really regulates you and it makes you into that more like attractive masculine version of you, and it's just damn fun, honestly. So I just wanted to make this module just to remind you, like, I'm telling you, some of the most fun you're ever going to have, like the fun memories of your life, it's actually going to be on pretty substantial experiences like trips with guy friends. When you are dying, when you are 80, 90, hopefully 120 years old on your deathbed, it's going to be moments like this that you remember. When you are a grandfather and you're speaking to your grandchildren and you're showing them pictures of you, it's going to be stuff like this that you show them. Make sure you're accumulating dad lore, and that refers to like you're doing stuff with other guys, which is kind of a little bit mischievous, dangerous. It's the type of shit you do. Okay, you go like through the mountains and you get into trouble and whatever, and you go on a road trip or you take a trip with your friend or you do this thing or this thing, whatever. Make sure you're accumulating these experiences and really trying to book them in, especially when you're young, which is when you can do like a lot of this crazy shit. Like the amount of crazy stories I could tell you where I've had to run away from police in Mexico. I had to run away from the sort of student body in Croatia, and they were trying to deport me, so I had to take 3 flights back home and with my friends there, and like this, and it's like this is the stuff that gives your life so much experience, memories, stories. For the love of God, don't grow old without accumulating the stories that you will gain in these kinds of experiences with your male friends. Time with women, as you know, I actually think is so important. I'm one of the very few guys who actually says this like online openly, even though because people kind of hate the message of like, like prioritizing your dating, and people will say like, oh, I don't care about girls. But as you know, I'm someone who actually tells you like, no, like I really cared about my dating, relationship, and sex life. And I think that's one of the reasons why I became so successful is because I got good at that, which naturally makes you a confident, charismatic, flirty guy who can hold frame and be masculine and be a leader. You know, these things are so important. And it's very similar to time with your male friends as well. It's like, it's not just for the joy that you gain in the experience, similar to how it is when you meet a girl for a date or you go and have sex with a girl. It's not just like pleasure. It really levels up the kind of skills that actually in a weird way help you to make more money, help you to have better mental health, help you to have better stories that you'll tell your children and grandchildren in the future. So it really helps more than you realize. Trips like this that I just went on and time where you just hang out with your male friends, in a weird way, it helps you make more money. Now, of course, if you're just friends with losers and they don't want to do anything ambitious or fun or challenging or masculine, and they don't talk about anything other than like gossiping like women or they just want to go take drugs or something. Okay, fair enough. That's probably not going to be so helpful for you. But if you can meet some guys who are actually on this pathway, they go to the gym, they're building a business, they're masculine, determined guys, they're ambitious, they've got goals of their own. It's just wonderful. It really is. And I think I would honestly bet about 99% of guys are not getting enough of this time in with their male friends. And so this honestly should be one of your goals to think like, okay, I really want to either spend more time with the good friends I have right now, or first of all, make some good friends, which this course actually covers how to make good friends, and then allocate some time to them. I remember I was on a call with this guy who was older than me. This was like a few years ago. And I said to him like, oh yeah, I'm like, I know that I should probably be spending more time with male friends, but I just kind of I just don't. And he went, yeah, fair enough. Like, how much time do you allocate to that? He asked me that question. How much time do you allocate to your male friends? And this was back when I used to live my life in my sort of Google Calendar where everything was blocked off, so like 6 a.m. was wake up time, morning routine. Okay, then I'm going to work from this time. Then I might open this one to like fuck girls. And then this one's like nighttime routine or something. There was no time for male friends. No time at all. I used to almost see it as like an unproductive thing that, maybe sometimes I could meet them in like a gym session only. And I'm telling you, if I, for the last few years, actually had more allocated time with friends, I honestly think I actually would have gained more success in business. And I really think this is the case for many of the young guys here. A lot of us are, we're quite locked in. Even the older guys, we're quite locked in, determined, ambitious. We're working hard. We want to make money. Okay, fitness. We all know these things, right? It's just weird. It's like when you have a good social life, it becomes like a multiplier on the efforts you're putting in. It's like you put in the same effort into your fitness, sometimes even less effort into your fitness business, whatever, because you'll spend more time with guys. But for some reason, you end up getting like higher results because of like your energy's just way better. Your brain just thinks better when you've spent time with guys. And so just bear this in mind that right now, some of your biggest goals might be, for example, you want to improve in your dating life, you want to make more money, you want to get more fit. These are the biggest goals most guys have. A goal that most guys completely forget is actually quality, memorable time with male friends. But I'm here to tell you that it is this quality, memorable time with male friends that actually helps you with the other goals that you've got. It really does. And not only that, it's just really, really fun. So what I would say to you is really take this course seriously that we're about to go through and just add this as one of your new values in life, like, one of your sort of like prioritizing kind of like the ways that you prioritize, what your goals are, what you spend your time on. And be the kind of guy who has like a really good social life with other guys. Of course, you need to go and meet these other guys and whatever, that can take some time. But visualize yourself 10, 20 years from now. Be the kind of guy who has like a good quality group of like, high value guys. Be the type of man who 10, 20 years from now, you could have so many pictures all across the world of like you and your amigos, you and your friends that you can show to your children. Like, oh yeah, this is me and him. This is me and David. Oh, David passed away. This is, like just shit like that. It's like it adds so much more to your life than you realize. Really, it does. And you'd be so surprised that just like you go on a trip like this, your energy's better. And then, for example, if you're making like social media content as a business, your content starts doing better because your energy is just better. Or you go on a trip like this, let's say you're in a relationship relationship. You go on a trip like this, you come back, and then your relationship is better, even to your family, to your girlfriend. Your mental health is better. You sleep better because time with your male friends is absolutely vital. But it's one of the biggest things that I think like so many sort of modern men just skip out on because we're so preoccupied with dating and also with our sort of money grind. So really just try to like be the shining light, the guy who's different, who has like an amazing social life where, for example, you could just show picture after picture after picture of all the crazy trips and experiences you've been on with guy friends. Level one is what I would say to you is basically level zero is what most people's on, which is basically okay, no male friends, whatever. Level one is what we can say it's kind of like acquaintances in your usual environment. What I mean by this is basically this is the level that most guys in our community have got to. Level zero is okay, no male friends, you just don't really have any friends. Level one is basically you go to a place like the gym and you kind of start to know some people in there, and maybe you start to, hang out with some of those people, but like in the gym itself. That's not bad. It's better than basically being like a loner. But this is about as far as most sort of ambitious young, especially guys, get into, which is like you're so busy with your routine. The only time you're actually hanging out with guys is when you're sort of grinding, like you go to the gym and maybe you'll meet some guys there, maybe you'll just talk to the guys you see in the gym, or maybe you'll invite a guy to come do this workout with you. That's not bad, that's still a good level. But the point of this course I really want to help you to is more like this, where you will start to actually go on big memorable trips and experiences together. That's like the end goal with the social Chad, so the course that I'm about to teach you with all the autistic steps that I've learned on like how to socialize with people, how to get people's attention. This works with dating as well. All of that is really nice, but it's not just for you to build the skill to be like a social charismatic person. The end result that I think is the absolute best thing, and this is going to sound so specific, but it's what I just said before. It's where you would just have picture after picture after picture of you in like different countries around the world with the same kind of group of friends, a couple of male friends, maybe just one, but maybe a couple male friends that you could show your children 10, 20 years from now. That's like, this is cool as fuck, right? So here you all are in this country and you did this thing together. Here you are here, whatever. Because if you can have this as your reality, where you've been on many memorable trips with male friends, naturally you're also going to be checking off this one, which is like, okay, your normal routine when you go to the gym on a normal day. You probably have like other guys there that you're speaking to. You probably have like a nice group chat to talk to, whatever. So this is like the heightened level of like male friendship, which is you've been on like a bunch of trips together and done crazy experiences, dad law together. And it's such a good life. Every time I've taken a trip with a male friend, and it's nothing crazy. A lot of the times it's not even taking a flight together. It's just like a road trip, for example, or, we just go somewhere. It is just so enlivening. I really promise you, if right now you really care about business or about fitness or about girls, having a good group of male friends, which I'm going to teach you in this course, will actually help you with those goals that may be the priority for you. So inside of this course, I'm going to teach you the very, very specific tactics that I have on the way to speak to new guys, on how to get their attention, like in the gym, how to vet them, how to befriend them and actually get more serious in the friendships. And the whole thing it's leading to is basically to the point that you've actually got some good male friends that you can basically like travel the world with, go on a trip here and here and here and here and here. Obviously, you don't have to do this if that's not what your interest is, but I would say like a lot of us would really live like such a fun life if this was the case. You want to be like that guy who's, let's say, you're 40, 50 years old, maybe you're a father at this point, but you still meet the same group of guys and you're still like the lads, if maybe 1 or 2 times a year, and you're all going to go take another trip, and you're all going to go like, just weird shit. Like you're all going to go like bicycle through Europe together in the thunderstorm. And you've got the one friend who always fucking complains, and the one friend, you know what I mean? It's like, that's life. The money that we make and the fitness that we build up, those things are so important, but this is the thing that actually you're going to remember the most. And so inside of this course, I'm going to help you with the skills to meet these guys, to actually attract them, to be kind of normal and not weird, because a lot of young guys particularly, but now even older guys, we've just all got like quite weird body language and behaviors when you're trying to speak to especially new people in real life, because we're also chronically online with high screen time and whatever. So I've spent about 10 years leveling up my social skills, like, really with intention. And I've distilled it all down to just a couple of key lessons that literally over the next like hour or so you could go through, and you would have such a better sort of body language and sort of confidence when you're trying to befriend guys. And like I said, a lot of the things that we're going to teach in here, it actually also applies to you attracting girls and stuff. So that might be of interest to you. But I hope this helps you. I really hope you get to have the kind of experience where you've got some close male friends and you can do like memorable trips with them, and you have this masculine energy around you, because it's just so needed for a man to feel like so good. A lot of us are now realizing this, that sort of like lone wolf energy is just complete bullshit. It's like such a scam. Your life is just way more fun, and also you'll make more money, and also you'll get like a better love life and fitness and whatever when you have good male friends around you. You just need to go and learn how to find the good people and how to befriend them, which is what this course is going to help you with. So I really hope this helps you. Thank you for being here.